Through 48 weeks, 12 games have emerged from the GrogPod rankings process, battling for supremacy through our ratings systems to represent the best of what the rogue genre has to offer. In the strongest showing yet from traditional roguelikes on this program emerges a slate of some of the best recent releases, ranging from Rift Wizard to the Hugo Award-winning Caves of Cud. 2025 also gave us unique spins on the genre, from the slow, enigmatic puzzler Blueprints to the electrifying pace of Elden Ring Nightreign. From surprise hidden gems like Spiritfall to one of the most popular games on Steam with the also Hugo Award-winning Hades, we gather to revisit our thoughts, experiences, and listener letters for our end of season recap tournament. They have been rated, you have been I-rated, and now we determine who takes home the Trophy of Yendor this year in our playoff-style elimination bracket of the best with Omegabowl 3. Hello from around the world, from GrogPod Stadium. I am your overpaid talking bobblehead commentator, host of the podcast, Scott Berger, and sliding into the commentary booth with me are my fellow co-hosts.
Hello, it's Colin, your judge.
Hey,
Right, go ahead.
We're already arguing. The episode hasn't even started. The designated Gatorade dumper. It's me, Andrew Harshman.
And this is Will Wright, the voice of reason.
Well, we are joined with our co-hosts, but we're also joined with listeners from a slate of a whole bunch of new countries that have tuned in this year to listen to specifically to Colin's voice, as he loves hearing about this kind of stuff. We say hola to new listeners from Brazil. We say allo to new listeners from Norway. A salamu to, believe it or not, listeners in Kenya. We have we'll say Loi Chao Banbe to our
Maybe
listeners.
we shouldn't.
To our listeners, most likely just Robert from Vietnam, and Slava Ukraine to our listeners out in the Ukraine. Welcome to the final episode of our season 3 of the podcast, and we'll be doing the usual here. We'll be diving into listener letters that we've gotten in response to some of our episodes that we've made it to here, and actually I'll kick us off with a couple here, because there's we got one right in from Rels Ray from our last Omegabowl episode, who wrote in to say last year, thank you Scott, Will, Colin, and Andrew for yet another exciting round of Omegabowl, and of course revisiting Season 2's roguish picks. There were a lot of strong, especially on the light side, contenders. A bit sad personally at the lack of Sheeran, but the GrogPod community has spoken. I'm honestly a bit surprised at how high Vampire Survivors ranked. I highly underestimated the value of, quote, brain-dead comfort play, and thought it would be against the roguelike spirit to list it as a positive. What with, as far as I can tell, the genre's controversial emphasis on creating a tense, grind-free, and challenging experience. To each their own, I suppose. Handshake emoji. I'm looking forward to hearing your thoughts on roguelikes in Season 3. There's still lots of gems to uncover. Little yellow blob man making a thumbs up emoji. Yeah, I think...
Well, faithful listener, welcome to your own Hall of Torment, because you might get another one of those this year.
Rels Ray, thank you for writing in. And you're right. We're frauds. We Vampire Survivors should not have been that high.
What the
actually, right?
Okay, this is a PG. No, it's not. That's just not true. It's a great game. I don't know who this person is, but
I was like, wait, what won last year?
Wrong.
Oh, right, Slay the Spire, of course.
Mm-hmm. Well, we also, Woody, frequent guest on the show, wrote us to say, pass along my congratulations to Andrew for sticking with Spelunky and making it happen for victory. Even though Spelunky didn't make it on on the final bracket here for some might say obvious reasons. I think Woody wanted to extend his congratulations nonetheless.
Thank you, Woody. I couldn't have done it without you. I want to thank the Academy, and I want to thank Woody, and also thank the very convenient feature of right-click uninstall in Steam. It's so easy to get that game out of my library and out of my life.
And while sadly Cube Chaos also did not make the Omegabowl this year, we did get a comment from a grooving gamer who said, I listened to your Tales of Maj'Al review recently and was worried that the podcast would have stopped in the intervening time. So glad you have continued all this time. And now I really want to check out Cube Chaos. Let's see if my mind is strong enough.
What a wild game.
Grooving gamer, thank you so much for your sharing your surprise. I'm also equally as surprised that the show's still going. I kid, of course. Oh yeah, you let us know what you think of that.
It's the only way Scott lets us out of our gaming dungeon.
Mm-hmm.
He lets us see the light so we can record this podcast, and he ships us back down there.
Well, this year is once again, like every Omegabowl, stacked. It's chock full of high quality games where none of these are a bad game, and when we vote them to send them packing, it's not out of malice, it's not out of spite. It's just wasn't their year this year, and that's
no, it's
totally
out of
fine.
malice and spite for me. Just I'm going to say that in advance, but go ahead.
Yeah, we have our division winners. We have our second overall of the podcast ranked Caves of Cud. We have third overall Hades, 11th Noita, 13th Blueprints, 15th Elden Ring Nightreign, and 22nd The King is Watching, rounding out kind of our overall categories that we've listed our games by. And rounding out the rest of the bracket are our wild cards with Halls of Torment, Spiritfall, Path of Achra, Deadzone Rogue, Heroes Hour, and Rift Wizard. Yeah, this will be kind of like the standard format. You're listening to this. You've listened to all of the previous Omegabowls. You're tuning in for all the Omegabowl commercials that are popping off. Yeah, so you know how this goes.
Who's our sponsor?
We are sponsored by Rogue Kings or
absolutely. But just as a refresher, because I know I needed a refresher. Basically, we're gonna have two games are gonna enter the Omega Arena. We are going to discuss. We're going to debate which is better, and then we are going to vote. And well, there's 4 people on the podcast. So what are we gonna do, Scott, if we have a tie?
Well, if we have a tie, it goes to you, the listeners, who have ranked with your feet and your downloads and given us a way to determine who the fan favorite is for each of these matchups. And should it come down to a 2-2 split or other kinds of splits as we might encounter, we'll toss it to the listeners and see what other kind of nonsense awaits us as we trudge through the trenches, as it were. So, yeah, I think we'll kick off here with our very first wild card entry into the tournament with Halls of Torment, our number 12 overall game of the podcast, versus our number 36 overall game of the podcast, Rift Wizard.
Well, this is our inaugural match, eh? We just talked about Halls of Torment. And here we are talking about it again. How exciting. Well, to express my feelings on these matchups, I've put together a few zingers, if you will. Give me a moment here. Halls of Torment, more like Halls of Torrent. Game's only $6, but you're better off pirating it. It's not even worth the $6. Am I right, fellas?
Wait, really?
Rift Wizard, I think they should have called
Did
it.
you not like?
Sniff
You
Wizard.
liked Halls of Torment though.
It stinks. Yeah. Well, I'm trying to be, fair and impartial, at least initially.
No, see, that's the wrong approach. We're judge, jury, executioner. The game that loses is executed, and no mercy, no feeling.
Well, let me kick off some listener comments here. So we got a message from from this person who writes in to say, I hope the moon for Halls of Torment. And we thank you, Rectal Spatula, for sending that in. As compared with Lefty Spurlock, who says, love you podcast BTW, exclamation mark.
Okay, wow. Well, it's nice to hear from Spatula City. Thank you. And it's good to hear from, I don't know, the left coast from our other listener there. Thank you for writing in. Well, let's see.
So,
why don't we just look at the
Rift
visuals?
Wizard?
Obviously,
I played a little bit of Rift Wizard over the past few days just to kind of refresh my memory on it. And we have Path of Achra on this list as well, a very kind of similar styled game. And I kept feeling every time I was playing Rift Wizard immediately after Path of Achra over the past week or so, and I kept thinking to myself, man, I really wish I was just playing Path of Achra.
No. Path of Achra barely has a purple robed protagonist. The clear winner is Rift Wizard versus Halls of Torment. Look, it comes down to the visuals, and obviously Rift Wizard wins.
No, I think everyone knows is Halls of Torment. There's no competition here. I don't even know why we're having any discussion whatsoever. Halls of Torment, genuine fun game. Everyone should play it. Rift Wizard is turns out traditional roguelikes not good.
Rift Wizard isn't even a traditional roguelike. It's just a great fun game. I liked Rift Wizard better than Halls of Torment. I have it rated higher.
Wait, what?
Yes.
Surprising. What?
I have Rift Wizard. Rift Wizard is pretty high up in my rankings. It's number 12 for me. I gave him 8.5. I really liked Rift Wizard.
I think a point in favor for Rift Wizard is that I feel like the final boss battle with Mordred is
super cool.
Yeah, I still think about that a lot of like, man, I wish more games kind of had like this crazy, like the universe is collapsing around you, like fight to the death with this other like super powered wizard that like you're both at that point so like OP. I wish more games had that, but I think like my ramp with Rift Wizard was like trying to get over the hill of like the little generators that spawn the units. And well, I mean, we'll be talking about Path of Achra in a minute, but that it felt like, man, I got to deal with the little things. And I guess also like the UI just feels a little Spartan for me. Whereas Halls of Torment feels just like the complete package. Again, we're kind of like comparing a little bit of apples and oranges with like a solo dev game made in Pygame versus.
Doesn't matter. You cannot. We can't think of effort that's gone into these. We're judging them purely as consumed items here.
Mm-hmm.
So
I'm curious, Will, because you've been playing a little bit more of Halls of Torment since our last episode of it. What has continued to suck you in afterwards?
Honestly, you look at the list of things to do, of unlocks and whatnot, and you target one and then you try and get it, and that's just a satisfying loop. And doesn't matter if you're trying to I don't know, like kill a certain number of things or go into an area with a certain piece of equipment, or like the arcane rift and do 2,000 or kill 2,000 creatures with full HP in the frozen blah blah. That's it's fun, and it is to be fair to the first person who wrote in about Vampire Survivors, it is mindless fun. And oftentimes, to be honest, I'm half my screen is doing something else, and I'm just like barely paying attention. But it's just it's good. It's a little dopamine hit constantly. It's a fun game.
I mean, I won't deny it. It's a good game. I liked Rift Wizard a lot. I thought it had some really good like it is truly the opposite. It is 100% beard scratch, like pondering, like build synergy optimizers, which is why I'm shocked that you didn't like it.
You'd think I'd like that. You would, because that's absolutely my style. But the sparseness of it and how Spartan as
I feel like you didn't actually play it.
No, I put 5 hours in. I put 90 hours in.
All right. I guess 5 hours.
I just looked it up. Yeah, no, it's I played the game. I wanted to like it, but there just was not enough of a hook for me. The whole fucking grid-based nonsense is not my thing. I can't get
perfection.
Into
we got a data scientist here who hates grids. Well,
He
matrices
wants it
is
to just be a
different,
pure
so-
list of numbers.
All right. Well, I'm hearing one strong yes for Halls of Torment. I think I'm gonna put my vote behind Halls of Torment also.
oh man,
I think-
I
I
thought
think
we
Rift-
could count on
Voice
you,
of
Scott.
reason.
And I think Rift Wizard is very good for what it is. I think like interestingly, I feel like Rift Wizard 2 might be more of a hook to Will. And if we get to it at some point in the future, like it's slightly different enough. Like it doesn't solve like Will's problems of like, oh, it looks very Spartan, blah blah blah. But I think that like
I thought it was
There's-
worse, honestly.
you think Rift Wizard 2 is worse.
Yeah, I didn't enjoy it as much.
Well, that's another kind of interesting thing is like there are people who really like 2, there are people who really like 1, and I feel like I kind of fall in the middle between the two. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe Rift
I didn't think
Wizard
it was
2.
bad. I just was like, oh no, it's missing some essential element from the first one.
Mhm.
I don't remember what that is because I don't remember it that well, but I remember thinking that.
All right, the Hall of Torment is opening. In this case, it is the voting booths. This is the voting center. I am officially casting my vote for Rift Wizard. It
Ooh.
always is on my mind every time I rank a game. It's like, is this better than Rift Wizard? Is it worse than Rift Wizard?
This is the
Can
first time
it-
you've mentioned that game since we played it.
That-
No, it's
That's
not. He
that's
talks
not-
about purple wizards all the time.
Okay,
I brought it up last episode about the bar of whether a game can surpass Rift
okay,
Wizard.
that's fair. I threw that out there thinking I might be right, and I'm thinking I might not get challenged, but then
All right,
my
I
memory
admire
is-
your chutzpah. And hey, there's no need to go back and like check to see like what actual ranking I gave both of these games.
Oh, wait a minute. Let's look at that.
I'm on a different computer. I can't access it, so I'm not sure. But Rift Wizard, I think is doing something more.
I mean, you
more
definitely didn't
interesting.
like Rift Wizard as much as you liked Halls of Torment. Because I am
And-
on a computer where I'm looking at the rankings.
But
This is why this is why we play the game. You could win in the regular season, but playoffs,
This is-
playoffs.
this is 1v1.
Oh yeah. This
combat.
is 6.4 versus 8.0 is how you that's and you're
What was I
telling me the
thinking?
6.4 is the winner. That's what you're doing.
I've
to
had
me
a
right
lot of
now?
personal growth since then. And I think
My-
the 1v1 matchup is a different beast entirely. Anyway, so yeah, again, listeners, don't look at my numbers or anything. Yeah, Rift Wizard. Colin, have you
I'm
been
rifting.
swayed?
I'm rifting.
Yeah.
Okay,
Well,
well,
City,
why are
baby.
you throwing this out to the people? The people, they don't know what they're
The
talking
people
about.
will vote with you, Will.
I sincerely hope so, but I don't know. I've been let down in the past.
Andrew and Colin are only doing this to demonstrate the listener vote and the power behind it and what it entails. So yeah, I guess
Disappoint me. Here we go.
with a 2-2 split, we're going to the listeners here. And I'm looking at my Google sheet with all the cells blacked out here. So I know what the top 2 are, but in a case like this where it's like somewhere in the middle, I'm like, I don't know. And so now I'm gonna hit the filter thing to rank just the 2 that I have selected here. This is also great material for an audio podcast where people are like, oh boy, I can't wait to visualize spreadsheets and then being
These
ranked
are
Now-
these roguelike players do it every day.
And
So
to be
don't
clear,
worry about it.
listener, we also aren't looking at the spreadsheet.
here.
So we're in just as much suspense as you are. Only Scott
Okay.
knows.
Halls of Torment, Rift Wizard, sorting by the listener overall rank, and the winner is Halls of Torment.
Thank God. Voice of reason. Whoever. How did that work? By the way, is that just like how many people? What's the
Well,
sample
we don't
size?
need to get
What's
into the nitty gritty.
Deep and secret
formulas.
formulas.
I'm happy with the results, so let's not challenge it.
Yeah.
Scott summoned it from the essence. He's
We don't want to
pinch of this,
spell the
pinch of that.
magic, please.
The long and the short of it is that numbers go in, number comes out, and we're all satisfied as a result.
garbage go in, pure truth come out.
As the old adage says. Well, Rift Wizard, thank you for playing. That was what our second game that we played for this season, I think, overall.
It was pretty early.
It was really early.
What a high note.
Yeah. But making it all being able to combat all of the other games off and making it, even just making it to the Omegabowl is something to be praiseworthy. So as we push it out of the stadium and revoke its press pass, what door prize are we going to give to Rift Wizard on his way out here?
The award for best purple robe.
Yeah. Like we give it the purple robe. The purple robe of first out.
Okay, well, that's going to move us to our next matchup here in the wild card round with our 15th overall ranked Elden Ring Nightreign versus our 34th overall ranked game Heroes Hour.
These couple of good games. And of course, I kid. These are all great games, of course. But I mean, we joke with those that we love and about the media that we love. Hey, Elden Ring Nightreign. There's about as much excitement in this Elden Ring game as there is in a elderly home. Come on, folks. And the drops are probably better. Now, I didn't actually play the other game here. So, the Heroes Hour. But so I'm gonna, of course, do the honorable thing and recuse myself from this. That being said, Heroes Hour.
You're recused. You are recused. Get out of here.
But I just need to tell you real quick.
Nope.
Well, you're just setting. You should be encouraging him to stay in this so that the precedent doesn't get set.
The precedent doesn't matter though. As soon as I start speaking over everyone, right? That's how that works.
He who has loudest voice.
Mm-hmm.
But I didn't actually play this game, so I don't know a whole lot about it. So maybe I don't have this quite right. But
well,
I think Euro Hour would be better. Come on, give me a sandwich, And no. By the way, a sandwich shop, that's more of a roguelike experience than in this so-called 4X game. 4X, more like I couldn't give 4 fucks about this. And I think obviously we'll be voting for Elden Ring.
I feel like Andrew spent all of the 3 minutes before the show prepping his zingers in deep writing here. But I feel like this letter or message here from Drunken Vike kind of sums up Heroes Hour a little bit here for you, Andrew, where he says, it's a super interesting game, but the onboarding is absolutely terrible, and I have a hard time telling why battles turn out the way they do. As far as Heroes of Might and Magic inspired games, Song of Conquest is my favorite derivative, but if you haven't played the classics, Heroes of Might and Magic 2 and 3 are phenomenal. 5 is pretty good. Also, this one here from frequent letter writer inner Davian Fuchsa, whose name I'm always going to pronounce wrong every time, says, for Heroes Hour specifically, pretty sure we may have fallen outside of the realm of roguelikes with this one. Not that there hasn't been roguelike style games based off 4X formulas, but this one didn't seem to be attempting to be a roguelike, just taking some inspiration from them.
Upon the mention of the tutorial, I'm now remembering that I actually did play this game. I must be mixing it up with something else.
That's strong endorsement.
I remember that tutorial I had a real rough time with, and I don't think I even got out of the first area. So again, probably not very qualified to review it. So thank you, first listener, and Damian Fuchsa. Always great to hear from you. Is it Damian or Daniel?
Davian
Fuchsa.
F. Just F.
Yeah, it's well, I mean, there's some randomization in this game. There's like random heroes or something, right?
Well, I mean,
Not
actually,
really.
the game that it's going up against here with Elden Ring Nightreign, there's like some like disturbing parallels here where in like the early game for Heroes Hour, you're kind of doing this like route optimization puzzle of like, oh, I need to go from here to here and from here to here and from here to here, and maybe doing some like field fights along the way, not unlike Elden Ring Nightreign, which I have played a little bit since our coverage of it, and I mean, just dropping right back in felt like a nice weathered like leather glove. Oh, it just fits so well. It's just the fact that we have like a I don't know if you would call this a triple A, maybe like a double A plus rogue style game from the Elden Ring universe, and it being like even remotely fun is just like such a slam dunk. I think when we were talking about it at the time, we weren't quite sure what like the DLC was, and so that has actually come out just maybe like a week ago or so. I think we were talking about this mode called Depth of Night, which is it's kind of like a challenge mode for sickos where you're just like, oh boy, I can't wait to try to like tackle this exponentially more difficult like difficulty modifier system. That's not the DLC. The DLC is kind of getting dragged a bit on Steam because even though it sold 2 million copies in 2 days, I think people were expecting a lot more variety out of it as opposed to just, I mean, there's two new characters, two more bosses, there's like a new map, sure. But I think because of just how much shit there is in base Elden Ring, you kind of have the expectation of like, well, if I'm buying a DLC that's like almost half the price of the base game, how much more stuff from Elden Ring are we gonna get? And if it like, I think I made the comment when we first played it of like, this feels like the Smash 64 version of like perfect Smash, and this feels like the Smash 64 version of whatever like the perfect FromSoft universe, like colliding like all the Dark Souls stuff, all of like the Armored Core stuff, all jammed into one like unholy like morass. Like there's something out there in the far future that exists like that. I don't think this game is it yet. I'm happy that it exists. I'm a big fan of it, but as like it is clearly a first attempt at this. But I think even if it is a first attempt, it's still pretty good.
I mean, I thought the like the weird co-op battle royale monster mashup formula seems pretty darn intriguing. Like, I don't. I mean, maybe there are other games out there, but I've not played a battle royale like the zone is closing type game where it wasn't just a big battle royale. It's kind of surprising to me that there hasn't been anything like that. So I liked that. I mean, I remember just the one time that when we played and the guy really we found the guy who basically just carried us through, and he really wanted me to get some sword or something from outside, and he just kept being like, no, we have to go further into the death mist, the fire on the outside. I'm just like, I can't go there, please, no, don't make me. But then he did make me, and then I got the thing, and then he beat the game for us.
Well, this comment from Science Bitch 962, I think kind of echoes your sentiment where he says, Elden Ring Nightreign, it's my comfort game now. It fixed two problems for me. One, don't have to deal with toxic PvP in online shooter games. And two, having comrades on the way to epic boss fights instead of being alone in traditional Souls games. He says, that being said, but I hope future updates will bring a bigger map, more complex dungeons, and things to explore / fight. Which, yeah, I think like rogue games content is king, and there's a lot of stuff in this game, and you know you can kind of see it all in 40 or 50 hours, and maybe that's fine. But there is like a version, like it's such a good idea, and there's like an idea of this that exists that's like all of the stuff from all of the FromSoft games that maybe it'll work. I don't know, but there's like a Smash Ultimate version of this out there in the far future that I'm very excited to play.
Well, thank you for writing in, bitchin' science or what have you, PhD, bitchin'. Wait, yeah, interestingly, there's been, this idea of calling upon the spirits and the helpful people to assist you, with boss fights. That's been in FromSoft games for so long. So having there be this sort of a multiplayer mode seems like sort of a fulfillment of a theme that's been in these games for so long. I generally agree with your take on it, Scott. It's good, but oh boy, when we get that Super Smash Melee or whatever people think the best Melee is, that's going to be super sweet.
Yeah, and its competitor, Heroes Hour, I feel like I remember having fun the first time I played it. When we played it again for this podcast, I didn't enjoy it. And I remember the flaws of it very quickly. The route optimization mini game in the beginning, not great.
Yes,
Do you
but
And
Yes,
thus ends my critique of Heroes Hour.
I guess like maybe how do you like the route optimization puzzle that you do in Elden Ring Nightreign as opposed to Heroes Hour?
I mean, I feel like that one's fine because it's not the whole game. Like really the first 50% of Heroes Hour is just of each run in Heroes Hour is just like what is the like what is the correct order in which to unlock these things. It doesn't feel like a, and yeah, I know we'll talk about, oh, there's army composition stuff and blah 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 blah, but maybe I just didn't, I did not engage with that as much. It
Oh,
does
as
have good
opposed
like
to
intro
Nightreign,
music though.
not where it's just a here's a can you hit the button at the right time game. Oh yeah, that's fun. I hit the button when I needed to hit the button. Oh good, I won because I hit the button in the right millisecond.
Yes,
Great.
Will, but sometimes when you're hitting that button, you are just bashing your teammates, your incapacitated teammates, until they
I do remember
magically
that.
heal,
Yes.
which is delightful. That's
Bashing your
an
teammates
innovative
is a stupid
mechanic.
delight. I agree. But I know I know I'm defeated here, but Hero's Hour I was more engaging to me than the boring generic smack a thing until it dies, learn its pattern, blah 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 blah.
I mean, I'll say that I didn't
You're right. I don't think it's going to catch
particularly
on.
like either of these games.
Blasphemy.
There we go. There we have it.
Sinful.
My goodness.
Sinful, and but at least we have some scholars of
They're in
that
the wild card for a reason.
Scholars, you say?
Well, I mean, it was up in the actual main playoff bracket, but some of our other games that came in late, like it just bumped it right off down into the wild card. But
Oof.
but yeah, I think well, I'm definitely casting my strong yes for Elden Ring Nightreign. I'm getting a similar vibe from others, possibly.
Correct.
Yeah.
Yes,
Andrew
I'm
doesn't get a
also. That's right. Yes.
Well, I vote for
I mean, I did
Elden
say
Ring.
it. I did say I was recusing myself.
Well, but then you unrecused yourself when you remembered you had played the game.
I suppose. Well, even with me being recused, it sounds like it's 2-1.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Don't worry, it'll get crushed in the next round.
I hope
Very-
so. I haven't looked ahead that far.
Well,
but,
just wait until you hear my one-liner. My
All
turn.
right, all right.
Well, yeah. So if Elden Ring Nightreign moves ahead to the next round, what prize are we going to bestow upon our hero for Hero's Hour here as the waves of enemies come crashing in?
I seem to
Around it.
recall the game having some cool spells.
And loot. Will, what's the best item you could give a hero?
I have no idea. There's so many because there's so much variety in this game. I would say
I love them all.
what you're getting is 1,000 red dragons. That's what you're getting.
Ooh,
Wow.
a handsome sum.
That is a good door prize. All
So
right.
the
Well,
hero's hour does not have to go home empty-handed. 1,000 dragon
Red
crowns or whatever.
dragons.
Red dragons, thank you.
That's the powerful one. Or
Wait, what
black
if it was
dragon, I
60?
guess,
What if it was 60? You had a power hour of red dragons.
there we go.
One dragon per minute per hour.
Handsome award.
All right. Well, Wildcard Group 3 is going to be our number 19 overall and our number 1 hidden gem game of the 2025 season, as dictated by some math I won't care to explain here. Spiritfall versus our 32 overall ranked Rising from the Ashes Deadzone Rogue out of the Tribes universe. Yeah, and I think I'll kick this one off with a write-in from about Deadzone Rogue from SQL Gene, who says, "I'm enjoying the episode. Really surprised to learn the history about Deadzone Rogue." We have one from how do I pronounce this? Pantheon, who says, "I picked it up as my friend and I are looking for some new stuff to play, so appreciate the review." And one from Donkey Brain Hero, who says, "Deadzone Rogue is fantastic. I've done every mission on hard, but the expert and nightmare modes are sweaty as hell." And before we jump into Spiritfall here, I'll read off this one. This is the longest letter of the night, but I did time it that I can get this in under, I think, 90 seconds. So I'll see how fast I can read this and still have it be legible here. But they did include a link, which I will dump in the chat for people to look at while I read this one off. This was also one that I promised to read off earlier in the season. I'm like, no, it's way too long. And then I'm like, oh, it would fit perfectly here. So
Wait, what am I looking at in this link?
this is a list of 260 Rogue games that Mr. Mo 1984 has written in with their rankings and says, who wrote into our email, says, "Hello, Grogpod Zonies. I was searching for a roguelike podcast since I mainly play roguelikes and roguelites, and thankfully I found yours. First of all, I have to tell you, I'm happy to know that there are others who love rogues as much as I do, because in my gaming environment, there aren't many people enjoying them like me. For sure, no one played as many as I did. Only listened to one full episode so far. I chose Spiritfall first because it was on my Steam wishlist, and now moved to my PlayStation wishlist since I mainly play on there. I enjoyed listening to you very much, and will definitely listen to more from the past and all to come if the games hit my interests. I just started playing Streets of Rogue, or I just started the Streets of Rogue episode, and no wonder I'm still the only persons I know who really love the game. Getting all the trophies for the platinum was great fun and playing co-op. I remember having fun with the comedian, telling jokes to NPCs, and having the ones who laughed, following everything that I do with them. Unfortunately, my buddies were not as good as you, I think referring to us on the podcast here, seemingly are at those games, and we got our first win after many tries before I grinded my way through on my own. I really like your ranking list and have given you a link to my Google Doc tier list with the 260 rogues I've played so far. I should add the game category to mine too. A few recommendations besides the S tier games on the list are Starvaders, which is a must play and one that will give you lots to discuss. Astral Ascent with the deep and broad meta progression, as well as for a 2-game mini episode, Mimic Logic and Dungeon Divers. I was more addicted to Dungeon Divers than Balatro, but so far didn't meet anyone who shares my love for that game. But I have high hopes in at least one of you, smiley face. I close with my top 5 games, looking forward to all you do in the future. Number 5, Battle Brothers. Number 4, Darkest Dungeon. Number 3, Dead Cells. Number 2, sorry, Will, Slay the Spire. Number 1, Enter the Gungeon.
Well,
Hey.
that's who is this person?
Greetings
you.
from
This is,
Germany.
this is
Say to you.
Mr. Mo. How
I
dare
mean,
you?
I feel like he
raise your
does.
voice.
He did get a pretty good cross section of games that
Mr.
we
Mo.
like.
200 roguelikes. Wow, incredible. And of all the 200, of course, my man loves. The distinguished gentleman, a man of taste and substance, loves Enter the Gungeon. What a deal. What a deal. Well, thank you so much for listening. And yeah, you got to do the ape out strat, when you're playing Streets of Rogue, is my understanding.
Yeah, quad apes. I think we did triple apes and
Wow,
one.
apes was fun.
Oh yeah.
Wow, that's outstanding.
That
And
sounds
of
fun.
course, thank you also for writing in SQL Gene, Pantheon, and Donkey Brain Hero, was it?
Yeah, good memory.
Sounds like a better, memory. Sounds like a better game than Heroes Hour, that's for sure. Yeah, well, hey,
Speaking of the games, we're
right,
rating
sorry.
Yeah, so
right now.
Spiritfall and Deadzone Rogue. Anyway,
Spiritfall. Yeah, I think Slopfall. Spirit Fail, I think, is more like it. Hey, I've seen better production value in a Neil Breen film than Spiritfall. I tell you, I kid Spiritfall. I played it all the way through to completion, or at least like a basic, the basic set of, I think you need to get 5 successful runs to get the core thing, the core story.
yeah, you got
barring
the
any...
true ending to that game.
Well, I assume there's something like beyond that, but the bare bones like victory. And it was a lot of fun. I think one of something that really stuck out to me was the interesting things that the game did with the classic tried and true staple of rogue gaming, which of course is the Slay the Spire map. And Spiritfall does some interesting things with that. You have a enemy boss that moves around on the map. There are like new pathways that open up, and I found myself doing more beard scratching on that map than I usually do with similar map layouts. Plus the combat's pretty good, and I'm on the record as being bad at Smash games and not liking them as a result, but enjoying Spiritfall quite a lot. That being said, I mean, you can't go up against Deadzone. Come on.
Deadzone Rogue, the game which I have to keep looking up what game it is because I cannot remember it.
Well, when the name of the game is the only complaint, the only actual complaint you can have, then you're in a pretty good situation.
At first I can't remember what game it was at all, and then I can't remember what happened in the game.
Oh my gosh. Oh my goodness gracious.
Well, you make the decision to nuke the space station or not. And we have a
No,
I
didn't get that far.
Oh, okay.
Well, let me remind you, this is the game where classically we got sidetracked by this ridiculous argument about how y'all didn't like the AI. It wasn't sophisticated enough. Ridiculous.
Yeah, I still don't like that.
Unfortunate
If you
business.
shoot a gun in the room next to you, you can hear it.
Well,
So-
robots don't have ears, so
Even though so far we are hearing some mediocre discussion of Deadzone. I seem to recall
More like
y'all not being
Bland
crazy
Zone.
about Spiritfall either. So maybe
Bland
Deadzone
Zone
will
to
just
Rogue.
win by default.
I liked Spiritfall. I felt like the boss fights in Spiritfall were like the worst part of it.
Yeah.
Just because like, or the first boss fight is just so, I don't know, feels kind of like bland. Like
The levels are super boring.
the levels are boring. I did like playing the game and like getting like the unlocks. It's the only game that I've played where like I can actually wave dash and not feel like a complete goon while doing it. And like the game is like built entirely around that stuff. And when you get like really good cool combos and like all the synergies between the different generic animal spirits going, like it feels really good to play. I think it kind of looks a little generic and feels a little generic, but like, you know, if you're stuck on a plane for 8 hours and like you're just like, I guess I'll play some more Spiritfall because I have a podcast and I have to do it for homework. You're like, you know, actually this is pretty banging. And I feel like the first, I was glad, Andrew, that you picked a Deadzone Rogue because I bounced off of it so hard from, I think, like the Steam Next Fest demo or something. I played like 20 minutes. I'm like, what is this? Just like a whole bunch of like hallway fights with like boring boxes and stuff. And I think, Colin, you made the comment that there's like all of the Star Wars Roger robots in it.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, oh man, is this going to be the whole game? And I'm glad that it wasn't, and it got better and more complicated. Some of the boss fights in Deadzone Rogue were also similarly like frustrating and dumb that I thought were like, well, in one case, like fighting the cloned CEO, I thought was
The
funny.
Hulk CEO, yeah, that's.
I didn't think that was funny. And I thought that the boss fight where like the guy was just kind of standing in the center and was like shooting stuff around was pretty lame. But the final boss fight was okay. Generally, I think like Deadzone Rogue, I had fun. I had fun with both these games for different reasons. But I think
felt like, yeah, Deadzone Rogue was just kind of mindless. I feel like both of them actually were a little bit generic in their theming, but Spiritfall is not generic in its genre. Like, it's the only game that I can think of that is like that. Like a weird Smash Bros. Roguelike game versus there are many roguelike shooters.
Yeah, I mean, how many of them are very good though? I mean, come on.
I
I mean,
mean,
isn't Dead Cells kind of like Spiritfall?
I should have.
Let other
no.
beat 'em up.
No, not at all.
It was a Smash-like game, Spiritfall.
Yeah.
yeah, Spiritfall is basically like Super Smash Bros, but like single player. You're running through and getting synergies.
Well, I mean, I hate 2D side scrollers, so I immediately filtered this out of the things I would do.
Yeah,
but,
you were dumb for doing that.
I mean, I've got no,
Oh, golly.
I got no dog in this fight. I don't.
Did you play either of these games?
Yeah, no, I played Deadzone Rogue, and I don't like that game. And
So,
Spiritfall, I would say I'm gonna give Spiritfall the benefit of the doubt just because it's Smash-like.
Oh! I forgot though. I meant to ask you on the Deadzone episode, as our resident weapon expert, Will.
Yeah.
Do
obviously.
you think we will, like in the Deadzone sci-fi future, ever have digital ammunition readouts?
No.
Indeed.
No, I mean, right. I mean, like, there's such a benefit in having an analog system where you remember how many shots you fired. You drop a mag when you can. It's not a matter of like, doesn't matter. Yeah, I don't think that. I don't think that's a big factor.
Hey,
What about
look, it
What
was
about guns
cool.
shooting giant ice orbs?
Oh yeah.
Ice.
Yeah,
orbs
what
is a
about
different story.
electric bullets?
I would, as just one last argument for Deadzone. I almost called it the wrong thing. I was gonna say
Deadfall.
like Night Zone or
Spirit
something.
Zone.
One last thing for Deadzone Rogue. I would argue that the perk systems better,
Boring.
more exciting
bad.
than Spiritfall.
No,
They're just like,
wrong.
make your grenade better. Okay, sure.
No.
It did feel kind of. I mean, it was
Larger
like,
blast
which
radius,
damage over
okay.
time system do you want? Blue, yellow, or red?
All right,
Exactly. Exactly.
I shouldn't have tried this angle of attack. All right, well, I'm
Don't
voting for
goof.
Deadzone.
Let's get some votes in here. How many do we have to go through? This is how long we
We're trucking along here.
okay.
We'll get faster. Don't worry. Once we get to the heavy hitters, they'll just crush the other end. Yeah,
This
we'll
is
be fine.
true. I mean, it's Spiritfall here, right? Is that
Yeah,
what we're?
yeah, it's Spiritfall.
Okay.
Oh my word! All right, so we're seeing Deadzone Rogue out the door.
Shoving it out the
more
airlock.
like Dead Link, more like Dead Space, more like Left 4 Dead, more like Dead Island, more like
Ro-
Telltale Games presents
Zone
The
of
Walking
Dead.
Dead, the final season. Your award is a new title. Almost anything would be better.
Right.
And thank you for
Correct.
coming. Thanks for playing.
Okay, Wildcard Group 4. We have our number 22 overall ranked The King is Watching versus our number 27th overall ranked Path of Achra. And we have a write-in real quick here for The King is Watching who says, hey, nice to, this is from El Pedraz, who says, hey, nice to see someone talking about the game King is Watching. For a title that passed 300,000 sales super early, there just doesn't seem to be much on the internet about it. You've given me something to listen to during a 12K row tomorrow, so let's see that criticism. That sounds like a long row for me. Our write-ins for Path of Achra, we got one from Greenborn. Jesus Christ, it's Greenborn, who says, great episode. Thanks for showcasing this amazing game. We got one from Thulkandra, who says, thank you guys for this episode. Incredible game, really. Heart emoji. And one from frequent writer Inner, Leechy the Crawler, who says, Path of Achra was game of the year for me last year. Everything from the art, music, lore, and gameplay is perfect as far as I'm concerned. Wished it was moddable, but understandably it isn't. Looking forward to Lands of Achra, the sequel. The dev posts about it on the Path of Achra Discord occasionally. Great pod as always.
Leechy the Crawler, thank you for writing it. Of course, you're absolutely right. It's the Path of Achra, although I didn't love it. In fact, I think I might call it the Path of Aggravation, because at times I was like, yo, golly, this is too much for me to handle. But yeah, mods, this seems like an obvious choice. So hopefully, I don't know if the dev has mentioned whether or not they are planning on that in the sequel, but that sure would be nice. So this was one fight where I do actually have to recuse myself because I was elsewhere during The King is Watching.
You don't have to recuse yourself. It's fine.
Oh, well, in that case, The King is Watching? Well, you can watch all day, but I ain't playing this game, that's for sure. Come on. Two-dimensional?
Goddamn
Ridiculous.
fool's mistake right there. King is Watching. Oh my god, that is a top contender. This is a super
I don't know if it is.
Omegabowl eligible contender. The King is Watching. This game is fun. This game is flat out fun. And if you didn't play it, you can't say anything right now.
Well,
I
didn't play the game because I was on vacation in a land where famously what they did to their monarchs is they put them in the guillotine. But I did listen to the episode, so I can review that, and I can say, gentlemen, you recorded a fine ep, and it gave me a very good sense of what the game actually was like. You were able to paint a beautiful picture, and it sounded like a fun game, and I was legitimately bummed out that I missed the episode.
I felt like King is Watching was still a little bit under polished. I think it has a higher potential to be like their stuff. Yeah, like there wasn't enough differentiation between the different kings. There was way too much grinding to get the experience stuff for the upgrade stuff. Like things that were not part of the core gameplay, but were enough to drag it down out of quite as good of a ranking to me as Path of Achra, which was a weird game, but like super fucking streamlined. Just like press button to play game for me, but then just ultimate synergy simulator where sometimes the game would just be like running slow because it's like I have to spawn 50,000 lightning orbs now.
And it's got an ape. You can play as an ape, and
you play as many things.
Yeah, you can play as a skeleton man. You can play as an ape. You can play as a different kind of ape.
My biggest complaint with Path of Achra was that the like after action log that was absolute 100% nonsense because it'd be like 50,000 entries long. So you just like, I don't know what I'm doing here. You need statistics here.
I almost kind of like how absurd it is because it seems kind of like a parody of just like, oh, you're a let's call it a traditional roguelike game. You have the little message log of like you walk past the bush, you walk past this boulder. What if that was just scrolling by at 300 miles an hour every time that you did stuff? And I'm just like, it's kind of a joke, but it makes me smile every time that I see it just go whoosh and like all of the things are on fire on the screen.
Yeah.
And I was playing some more of Path of Achra a couple days ago, and I got my first Frost Knight win. And there were times where I was on the ropes, but I eked it out against the King of Many Colors at the very end. Again, I think this is where like Rift Wizard maybe has the better final boss fight, but
Yeah.
I feel like Path of Achra is just so unhinged. Like,
It truly is. And its graphics are so good. So weird. They're like the best paint art from they're just great.
all right,
I
so
know Will doesn't like them.
I'm
but
guessing
I
we
love
have-
them.
I mean, I don't know if I get a vote because I didn't do Path of Achra, and I opted out because that game looked like such shit.
Well, then
be fair.
I
clearly,
mean, it looks both amazing and awful.
Awful.
It's
The King-
pretty
whereas
bad.
the King of-
It's pretty
the
bad,
King is
but it's
watching,
so
I had
for
fun.
me, it's so bad that it comes back around to being fun. But I don't
Wow.
begrudge anyone who doesn't get
So
all the
we're
way
all in
back.
agreement. Then the King is watching is moving.
Well,
on.
one of you, really, it's just me and Scott who can vote.
well, obviously we need
I
to
don't want-
have the just obviously by default we need the listeners say.
Well, Scott and I are both
the
voting for
listeners
Path
to
of Achra,
vote.
right?
I believe so.
But surely the power of the people is more important.
Well, Andrew,
Well,
what would you
I
be
can-
voting for?
I can give us the listener answer here too, if that sways anyone's opinion.
Sure, yeah. Let's
So-
bring it in.
so-
Always.
Let's hear what it is and then decide if we care.
Yeah. No one's listening at this point anyway. All right, King is watching versus Path of Achra. The listener rank
Oh, it's
overall.
absolutely going to be King was watching, though.
Well, let's sort this and see what
No,
comes
I
out
don't
on
like
top.
the way you said "well." That made me a little uncomfortable.
It's Path of Achra.
God damn it! I knew it.
I think we know what the right path is.
Mm-hmm.
But
I wanna
don't
I wanna
worry.
recount. This is the stolen election. Unfair.
Stop the count. Well,
Well, we're seeing as it is not, in fact, a democracy. It is a kingdom. We are executing the monarch. The door prize for the king is watching is, of course, the guillotine.
Wow, this is a terrible decision. I can't
Gold-plated,
believe this
diamond
administration
encrusted.
would allow this kind of nonsense to happen.
well,
but
when you're in control of the voting, it's whatever.
they let you do it.
Yeah.
Is that what you're about to say?
That's
Is that
exactly what I was
you're
about to say. Well, that's going to move us to our actual tournament bracket here. So we're going into the divisional round we'll start with our first one up here. Our number 2 overall for the podcast ranked Caves of Cud. And I'm going to read through we have the most listener letters for this one here, but we have one from Ravenheart who says, I loved both of your episodes on Caves of Cud. Was kind of nervous about your reactions to it, but it turned out great. By the way, was Will not there because he didn't like it and was afraid of your reputation score going down? ? LOL.
Yeah, could be. Thanks for writing in. Yeah, hey, Caves of Cud, or as Will calls it, Caves of couldn't be bothered to install one of the greatest games of the decade.
Hey, I have to stop you. I will lean on Colin here. Colin loves the game. I didn't do it because I wasn't into it, but I can see the value, and I will say I'm
working him. I'm working on him.
Oh, that's true friendship.
That's how
Also,
I
my
feel.
Caves of Cud score is now, it has grown up to 9.2. And honestly, it might have been even higher, but except it's not a real roguelike game.
Well, we might find on that here in a minute, but a couple more listener comments. Fudgy Yum 2122 says, love the deep dive. Jojo Knob says, I absolutely love how most of the discussion of the gameplay is almost correct, which honestly is completely on brand for what Cud is trying to do.
Hey, what a compliment. Thank you. Unironically. Appreciate
Now that I put like 100 hours into the game, if I go back and listen, I'm sure I'll be disgraced by our.
Well, this comment from Dating TV says,
Dating TV.
It's hilarious to talk about your CUD ventures to friends who know little about the game because it sounds like you're making shit up, but it's actually real LMAO.
Exactly. Yeah, totally.
We have a message here from Narf, who I
Narf.
believe, if I remember right, I believe he was part of the UI team for the game.
Narf. All right.
Who
Well
says,
done.
fun podcast episode. A little sad you didn't think of the composer Craig to join you for our music episode that we did. Well, let me just say, stay tuned for that over the next couple weeks. He also says, very lulled out loud to the quote John Cud moment. By the way, smiley face emoji. And then finally, one of the main side quest writers for the game, Kaylin Sandell, liked and boosted the post that I made on Mastodon, and the main developer of the game, Brian Bucklew, also enjoyed the episode. So,
wow.
So
outstanding. Well, hey, we enjoyed your game, so thanks for tuning in. And those were some long episodes, so good on you. Y'all will be getting door prizes.
Well, yeah. So in our first divisional matchup here of
they might just be getting the grand prize though.
Oh, great point.
I mean,
so I meant like them personally, in addition to the game. But anyway, yeah. Sorry. Go right ahead, Scott.
So it's Caves of Cud versus Path of Achra here, and I feel like when I was first playing Caves of Cud, I wanted it to be Path of Achra so bad. I was like, oh, there's so much cool stuff in this game. I just wish it was like shorter, and I wish this game was like jammed into the small form factor that is Path of Achra. And I love these two games like on totally opposite ends of like the length spectrum for different reasons. And I went so far as to like delve into like the mod scene, like trying to generate my own mod for Caves of Cud to turn it into a Path of Achra like dungeon crawler. Turns out there's a lot going on under the mod hood for Caves of Cud. But the more that I played it, and like after beating the game, and no spoilers for the end game, for the end story, but like even though like the game is super long and it's effectively more of an RPG than it is like a kind of coffee, like we have on one end of the spectrum Path of Achra, a coffee break roguelike game that you can basically beat in 30 minutes. Versus Caves of Cud, where like a run in that, well, I don't know, what, like 10, 20 hours or something? And you would think that like, oh, after a certain length of time, like it just becomes an RPG. This is the one exception, I think, because like, and again, I want to talk about the ending, but I can't because I'm leaving it for Colin as like this beautiful gift to unwrap an experience.
I'll probably get to it this weekend.
Yeah, and
I think so overpowered right now.
I think that will underscore that like this game, it is a roguelike because there's certain parts of how this game works that couldn't exist as anything else. Like there's like Caves of Cud, it just there's all of like the gameplay systems and historicity of it and like how the game's plot plays with all that. It wouldn't work as any other game. And it's such a crazy unique thing that like I'm so glad that it exists. I'm very happy that I was able to con all the rest of you to do like all the super long episodes on it, with the hope of, oh, maybe Colin will play a little bit more of this after we do the episode.
Yeah, spoiler alert, it did.
Yeah.
So yeah, I don't know how Path of Achra can. I mean, Path of Achra is a fun like aperitif, no, but hors d'oeuvre. But Caves of Cud is the main course.
I want Cud to win.
Yeah.
Well, just to play
right.
devil's advocate, I think Path of Achra might be able to give Cud a run for its money in one specific, very crucial element of roguelikedom, present, of course, at the very top of the list in the Berlin definition or whatever it's called. Of course, I'm speaking of poetry.
Yes.
Path of Achra does spin a wonderful yarn, a little
these
ditty.
Are probably two of our most poetic games.
Highly, yes, absolutely. But I mean, Of course, to answer my own challenge, my own question, as we covered, at episode 2 and about hour 5 or 6 of Caves of Cud coverage, just the item descriptions in Cud are poetry in and of themselves.
All I know is that I'm looking at the game right now, and the current character I'm on turn 294,000. So that's
It's a lot of turns.
It is a lot of turns. That is the biggest slight against it in this roguelike competition, is that it is an RPG with roguelike elements, not an actual roguelike.
And I thought for the longest time that like the permadeath mode is bad in that like it is for new players. Well, actually, yeah, see, this is the thing. Like, this is why I'm so conflicted. It's like for a new player experience, it feels bad to be like, oh, well, I'm going to go on this huge quest, and then I get bludgeoned to death by this invisible troll that I was not warned about. Feels bad, man. But at the same time, like, I feel like if this game started off as like a checkpointing with settlements at first, and then after a certain point it unlocked the permadeath mode, then you would be like, oh, now I have this other thing to like go and play with. Or if the daily challenge mode was just permadeath, then I feel like there's like ways to play around with it. But again, after beating it and then coming back, I'm like, oh, I get it now. I see why this is here to kind of like force you to try different stuff and see what kind of gels with your play style. Maybe it's not the best implementation of it. Path of Achra certainly does have a better fail fast state where like you die and you're like, let's boot up another run. Let's do it. And there's a little bit of hesitation there with Caves of Cud. But
if the character I was playing with right now died, I'd never open the game again.
Oof. Okay. That's fair. That's fair criticism.
But even with that being said, what are we doing? Beating around the bush, which is something that you can do in Caves of Cud. You know it. I know it. The listeners know it. It's Caves of Cud.
Yes,
do it. Yeah. Move it forward.
In-game unit mile.
We can talk more about Caves of Cud in this next matchup.
All right, our next division matchup.
Wait, hold on. What is Path of Achra getting?
Yeah, well, the door prize for Path of Achra, I'm going to give it the door prize of 10 million glory for being just kind of like the perfect package of like the solo developer experience, the Babylonian blood mythology, the really very unique and like almost Conan the Barbarian level NES style soundtrack. Really,
I'm going to give it the door prize of a brand new UI log system.
Well, I also want to offer an award, which door prize, which is y'all remember in the Conan movie when Tharzadune he picks up a snake and he turns the snake into an arrow and shoots it.
Yeah,
indubitably.
One of those.
Great,
perfect. All right. Our next divisional matchup will be between our number 12th overall ranked. 13th overall ranked. My Google Doc notes need to be updated. Puzzle, first-person shooter puzzle game, Blueprints versus climbing up the ranks here, our number 12, Halls of Torment.
Two architectural-based games. What a perfect matchup. 100% comparable. This first-person puzzler,
a couple
random room deck builder,
a couple write-ins.
Diablo 1 candy station, I think is how the devs described it at one point. That if Diablo is your full 3-course meal, then Halls of Torment is like is a nice little piece of candy, you know.
One comment from a simp for Cheryong says, Blueprints, it made me feel smart for once. No hand-holding. And then a comment here from, I'm sure that's a lie, says, my wife loves watching me play video games, I'm very lucky, and sits there with a strategy guide if I need help. Before starting Blueprints, I told her, quote, grab a notebook and write everything down. We filled up an entire notebook over 2 weeks of play, and I've never seen her so engaged with the game she wasn't, quote, playing. So while I'm grinding out the RNG aspects of the game, she's connecting the dots like a mad conspiracy theorist. Honestly, it's the most fun I've had gaming in my 30s.
I would say that, like, that she was playing the game. Yeah, like that's I feel like rarely would be like someone writing down what's going on behind you. That's the game. It's like, no, that is the game. Like the person writing in was just the driver for his wife while she was playing. She was playing the game through him.
Mhm.
Yeah, surprise.
Who doesn't have a notebook here with notes
Oh
about
yeah.
blueprints? I just raised my book with
Yeah.
all my
Some f-
notes, and they look like crazy
They look
conspiracy
so insane.
theory
Well, I
notes.
only kept an oral history of my
What did I
blueprints
actually write with?
experience. No, yeah, I definitely took notes and I had a lot of screenshots.
Yeah,
Oh,
that is what the
Pages of
Unabomber.
Unabomber. Yeah, that's exactly what I was going for here. That's how you feel when you're writing all these notes down.
where did I? Yeah, I don't remember where they
And
are,
a
but
good. I mean, I'm gonna go ahead. I'll just cast my vote. It's gonna be Blueprints. Blueprints is a fantastic game. If you haven't played it, you're missing out. Halls of Torment, great game, but this not the artistic style, the depth, the interesting, compelling reason to get back into it. It's just not quite there. Like if you want to get to 100% of achievements, sure, Halls of Torment, but no, Blueprints is much more deep and interesting.
I feel like these are two like wildly well. Number one, they're wildly
yeah.
different in terms of
Oh
like
no,
their
they're both about different aspects of buildings.
uh-huh. Sure. Yeah,
And there's lots of
halls.
hall versus hall battle. Great
Yeah,
matchup.
but
No, they
Blueprints
are
has more than
of course, as you say, they are very different.
yeah. So I gave Halls of Torment a higher score than Blueprints
What?
in my rankings, and
Oof.
I'm unsure. Like thinking back now and looking at both of them, it makes me. I mean, 8.0 versus 8.2, so not like that much different. I mean, I think that Blueprints should still win. I think Blueprints is like groundbreaking and novel and super interesting, and I think it deserves awards more than Halls of Torment. Even if Halls of Torment was more like subjectively fun to play in the moment, like I will forget Halls of Torment, but I won't forget playing Blueprints.
Well
I
played.
definitely felt like I had a type 2 kind of fun with Blueprints of like
Yeah.
me thinking that I had like the code for like the building layout and like the different letters of like, oh, this room here corresponds to this letter because of the chess piece and the blah blah blah, all these other dumb clues and things. And I thought I had the code cracked, and then I ran it past you guys, and you were like, "Nope, that's not even remotely right." And I'm just like, "Well, that's great.
Yeah.
That is really great. I'm glad I spent all this time." And like with the what was it? The billiards or the dartboard puzzle. Also, I'm like,
Yeah.
okay, if I had like an entire page of math written out of like, okay, well, if it's like this, and if this number's odd, then I do this thing, and if it's even, then that thing, and that was totally wrong. Also, I feel like this Blueprints is a really great two brain game where you can have
Yeah,
someone
you need
like
someone to like bounce your thoughts off of.
yeah.
Like, am I actually just like going mad here? Be like, yes, you are.
Whereas Halls of Torment is a really great no-brain game,
Mhm.
where you just watch all of the candy fly around on screen. They're both good for different reasons. I feel like I don't know. The end game for Halls of Torment is maybe more fun than the end game of Blueprints. Not, I don't think any of us played Blueprints after getting to room 46, did we?
I did a little bit, but I didn't get to the true endish game, whatever it is.
Which there's what, like another 150 hours of content
Yeah,
or
we were like,
something?
oh, we'll get to room 46. That's the end of the game. It's like, no, it's like a third of the way through or something crazy.
Yeah.
Wow,
Oh,
wow, wow.
really? A
Maybe not a
third?
third. It's you're not done by
You're
any
like
means. There's like many more
90%?
things. I don't know.
I mean, I
I,
stopped around then because I got it, but it's still
Yeah, I mean,
I'm surprised.
if you are Prince pilled to the effect of like you get to room 46 and you're like, I need more. I must have more blueprints. It's almost like they have like two other like games of blueprints level content after room 46 to some degree.
But you're still doing all the things that you've already done to get more. Like you're still advancing through the mansion. You're still
I mean, technically, but maybe there's more like extent to like lore or stuff. I don't like I kind of
yeah.
bounced off of the end hard where
I'm reading a Reddit thread about blueprints right now, and they said I'd put you around 30%.
Holy
You're
mackerel.
in late Act 1, maybe early Act 2.
Yikes.
Well, the game was not framed correctly for me because I was done when I got to the end.
My guess is that that's not actually true.
I mean, I'm willing to put a vote in for blueprints here just from like the
Yeah.
uniqueness aspect.
Me too.
Like, yeah, like I'll gladly go for novel over established every time, even if it's not perfect. So
Well, listener, thank you for writing in. Listeners, thank you for writing in. Sorry that your wife stole the game out from under you and you achieved nothing. Sorry. She did everything and she's the true player. And the previous writer into the show, you're absolutely right. This game makes you feel smart. Let it be known, no problem with the dartboard puzzle at any point. And
Right.
so it makes me feel smarter
Struggle with that. Yeah.
than my
just
than my
end the
co-host.
call here really quick and
I remember the one time that I failed the gem box puzzle, and I felt so shamed.
Now the gem puzzle, on the other hand, ooh, zoinks. Hey, yo, check it out. This blueprints game. All right, I get it. It's a play on words, as in a prince that is blue, and also the blueprint for an innovative new type of puzzle game that revolutionizes the genre and turns it into an ever-evolving, engrossing, puzzle-cracking experience that even an FPS meathead like me can enjoy. Obviously, it's blueprints. I think this is going to be the basis for a new subgenre. I
Here
vote
we
for
go,
blueprints.
moving ahead because we have a consensus.
it's
Get 'em.
unanimous
Yeah,
somehow.
yeah.
Although
Banish the halls
I-
of torment to another hall of torment.
I am kind of curious to see what the listener vote is between the two of them here. And just to make the listeners mad, listeners voted for Halls of Torment, believe it or not. So we
Yeah,
have,
I mean that's fair.
I've put more hours into Halls of Torment.
Yeah.
I mean, like it's a game that is, I mean, it fulfills a role of, hey, it's 9 p.m. and I've had a drink, I've smoked some weed, and what do I want to play? Not blueprints. No, I don't want to use my brain. I want to just run around a map and just watch Seinfeld and
Yeah, Blueprints is like that prestige drama. Halls of Torment is like Love is Blind. It's just that trash you watch.
oh, but
I
it's
haven't
so
actually
good
watched
though.
it, but I hear great things.
It's so good. Just the kind of trash the human brain was evolved to consume at a fire hose pace.
Exactly.
Well, I guess like the door prize as we shove Halls of Torment out through the fiery gates back into the demonic halls from whence it came. I'm gonna give it I guess 10 million XP points that are all kind of like zooming in, collapsing in on you like a singularity.
Oh, I'm gonna give it a quick correction. I think I said that the sprite pack had 6 directions. That's completely wrong. So yeah. Anyway, moving on.
We'll retract the episode. We'll take it down.
Thank
as a
you.
result.
Halls of Torment, best door. We saw a lot of good doors this season, but oh boy, like going into the level now, that's that's a honker. Very impressive.
well, really good transition from the demo into the full game, where where there's a lot more
Seamless.
content, a lot more interesting things to do.
Okay.
Where are we at? D2, D3?
Yeah, we're at our second divisional round game. Maybe you've heard of it. A game called I don't know, Hades versus our crawling up the ladder here, number 19, Spiritfall. Hades was
All right, so Hades wins.
Yeah, let's move on.
We'll talk about Hades when it goes up against the winner of the next one.
Yeah, we don't
Okay,
need to
sure,
waste time
but
here.
This could
real
have been
quick.
so much more fun. We could have had Hades versus Deadzone. Can't remember the name. Now that would have been a
Zone of Dead.
Yep.
But a couple quick listener comments as we very fast forward through this very obviously bludgeoning here. One from what is this? Colton MCC 786 says, recently discovered this podcast and I'm enjoying listening to it a whole bunch. Please keep it up.
Well, thanks.
And then we have one from Goob Snoob who wrote into the email to
Oob
say,
snoob. Okay.
podcast great, no way community talk together, need Discord, podcast grow, praying hands emoji. He card read good. I think like, yeah, this is something that like people have asked about for a while. I don't know, another thing to manage. Like there's already so much junk that I'm doing under the scenes here, but if someone wants to start a fan Discord for us and they want to moderate it themselves, by all means, feel
Or
free.
maybe a subreddit. That's probably really what we should do.
Yeah, there
Just
we
be
go.
like, have at it. No moderation. Go nuts.
Mm-hmm. We'll get all the sexy fanfic art of the hosts posted on there. So,
Please don't.
well, our door prize for Hades. Thanks for playing. It was good to have it up against the
Oh,
Titan that is Spiritfall. No, I guess what do we give Spiritfall? Like
An animal. Some
I
sort of
think,
animal. Just a generic animal.
I like the angle of like
Chinchilla.
what did Spiritfall do best of any of the games that we played? Very satisfying like knockout, like when you were doing those smash fights and you
Yeah.
blasted someone off the screen into the nether realm and the big anime streaking effect was pretty good.
Weren't we joking about how we wanted to just have like a Super Smash Bros. Ultimate where it's just all the roguelike games though? So maybe we'll give it
Yeah.
like 10 new characters that are just like very like John Cudd, the Purple Wizard,
Yes.
Mr. Deadzone himself, etc.
we'll get the hero from Heroes Hour.
The
Yeah,
Ring from Elden Ring.
Perfect. That's gonna turbo mash us to our next divisional matchup, which is between our 11th overall ranked game Noita versus climbing out of the wildcard ranks, our 15 ranked Elden Ring Nightreign.
All right, listen up, suckers. I did a little research after this episode, and Noita, I found out that it's a Finnish word. It's Finnish for mad 'cause bad. You don't like this game? It's because you don't like yourself, and your own gaming prowess ain't up to snuff. So maybe consider doing a little work on yourself before you come gunning from a main man, Mr. Noita.
Maybe consider having a better objective than being, I don't know, like forced into a tunnel where you're gonna have some fucking magma or poison or whatever bullshit land on your head. No.
What about a mine cart? What if there was a mine cart at the start of the game that you could kick and have it go flying down a mine shaft and then land on some red-eyed goblin at the bottom of it?
Humankind,
big old eyeball,
since the beginning of time, has longed for two things: to ride in a minecart, and number two, to get to the bottom. You want to get to the bottom there, you got to go find it's the epic quest to get to the bottommost level, to persevere and venture forth into the dark.
We'll play Diablo, of course. Diablo, or what was the game that we played in season 1? I think it was the first game.
Dreadmore?
Dreadmore, yeah, that's the one where we're going to the bottom. That's what we do. Yeah, go to the bottom. I get it.
Well,
and the way that you do it, and you do it in such a stylish way, such a novel is an insult, in a wholly unique and engaging way. This is some of the best magic we've ever seen in a game.
That wand crafting.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you can just summon boulders to crush people, or summon boxes of dynamite. Yeah, I think like the wand crafting system for this, I like as much as I like Elden Ring Nightreign, I feel like it's a good idea that needs to be polished up some for like later stuff. I do not think it beats Noita here.
No, I think it comes close. I mean, I think there's like Elden Ring, Nightreign has a lot of stuff going for it in terms of just like appeal. Like it's a big,
in terms of good,
beautiful game. There's stuff that's happening. It's got co-op. It's got a bunch of stuff. Noita is, I think, very pretty. I think it's very interesting looking. I think there's a lot of stuff that's fun about it, but there's also like hard and fiddly sometimes. But it's also, I mean, it kind of goes in the same slot for me with Blueprints, where it's like this is forging its own path.
Yeah.
Like it is creating genre rather than something like Halls of Torment, which is like refining a genre. So I think you get some extra points for that.
our last listener write-ins for the evening here.
Okay, you get the
For
final
Noita,
word.
we got one from Joshi-N4V that says this is basically quote powder toy the game. We got one from Theron Keen who says I played Noita for 700 plus hours with no spoilers. That has been one of the most rewarding gaming experiences of my life. Easily one of my top 3 games of all time, and I'd call it one of the 3 best games of all time, period. And I say that as somebody who has been gaming since the NES days. We got one from Timatchensen8821. Noita has many looping mechanics that give you permanent unlocks, orbs of true knowledge, unlock spells into the spell pool. So do the Coral and Hell Chest quests, as well as many others that I think are kind of buried in that 700 hours of content. We got one from Crab Finder R1M who says, I immensely enjoyed this podcast, our Noita episode. It says, Noita is probably in my top 3 games of all time. It's the only video game I've played where taking over 100 hours to get your first win is considered pretty average in terms of player skill. This game is weird and brutal in a very unfair and sometimes stupid way. I love it, though. We got one from Nathan the Ninja Taylor who says, Noita is the best game, heart emoji. It fights dirty and expects you to fight dirty back. And our last one here from Biggie Sniper says, Noita is a very hard game to get into. I would recommend watching, quote, The Worst Guide to Noita by Connor Conkers. It does a good job explaining what the game is all about and how deep the rabbit hole goes.
There you have it. The people, they long for the mines, they long for Noita. It is a game that I should probably raise my score of because I played it quite a bit more and found it to be exhilarating, and also a pretty dang good example of a daily challenge run mode.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that daily challenge mode is like exactly the thing that I wanted Caves of Cud to have, where it just drops you in a random spot. It's like, hey, here's some random crap, go nuts. And crucially, when you die, you can restart that thing over again. Good design on that one, I think.
All right, Noita. I vote Noita.
Yeah, I think it's Noita time.
Oh, Elden Ring. It appears your Nightreign has ended. Sorry. Catch you later. I don't know. What are we going to give you as your door prize? Like some souls or some shit?
A really big sword.
Oh, yeah.
A really outrageously large sword. Yeah, that's seems about right.
Maybe a pet wolf or something.
3 pet wolves.
Yes.
Okay, well, it's coming down to the wire here. We're going to go into our first semifinal matchup with our number 2 overall Caves of Cud versus 13 Blueprints. Both very cerebral, thinky games, very long games. How do we feel about these two?
Yeah, Blueprints obviously is going to be a winner here. Don't even think twice about it. What are you talking about? What is happening here?
Well, the people I mean, we're getting paid to think about it twice. So we need to at least, consider all angles.
Yeah. I mean, I'll say that I liked Caves of Cud more.
Oh, really? I would not have guessed that from someone.
But now we're starting to get into the depths of like, what are we judging here? Are we judging which is the better roguelite game? Or are we just judging which games did we like more?
I think that the real judge here is history.
God.
And if we don't pick Caves of Cud,
then we are better for it. I agree completely.
No, absolutely not. Come on, what are we talking about here, folks? There ain't no time travel in Blueprints. There ain't no plasma rifles. There ain't no jetpacks. There's no devious horsemen.
There's very few mutants.
So few
it's
mutants.
So innovative. Are you kidding?
No. You're right. I'm joking. It's a little bit of a toss up, but I mean, perfection is its own type of innovation. And Caves of Cud is just such a good roguelike. I don't care what you say, Colin. Sorry. Rogue-ish game. That's boy, it's tough. I feel like Blueprints could be improved upon, and there will be a Blueprints 2. I don't know how much better you can make Caves of Cud.
You could not make a Caves of Cud 2. Like you couldn't. Like there's no way. Like the way that like
Spires of Cud.
the I mean, well, there is a spire in it. You are ascending it at some point. But
That
even if
appeals to
like,
me. That appeals to me. I'm gonna stop you there and say I'm gonna ascend some spires. What?
Ooh,
There is
interesting.
a big bad at the top of a spire that you have to get to.
well,
Maybe there's something at the top of a spire that you have to get to.
yeah. Will, what if you were a cybernetic organism that could go around and proselytize people to your cause?
What if you were an apple farmer's daughter? Four arms, each of which had a crystal axe that could decapitate uh leering robots.
This appeals to me.
It should.
That would make getting to room 46 a lot easier.
Yeah.
If you could just
If you could face through the wall, yep.
Yeah, what if you could just explode the walls and walk through as your
It
cud
makes it
given right?
It makes it hard for me to judge here because I believe you.
Yeah.
I did not give Caves of Cud a really a good evaluation, I admit, and I think based on Colin, based on your evaluation, it sounds like a great game, and it sounds like one that I should play. But Blueprints I have played and I have loved. And
Yeah.
so it's gonna be a Blueprints for me, and maybe I'm wrong. I will allow for the maybe I'm wrong to be a very strong element here.
Yeah. I mean, I think I'm gonna vote for Caves of Cud, but I'm gonna feel weird about it because I really do genuinely like it's stretching on the rogue aspect. It's got
We don't. This
trappings.
is not a rogue. I mean, yeah, Grog Pod, Rogue, what light, Roguelike. What do we? I don't know.
It's the rogue light.
Does anybody know?
Yeah. But like sure. In our pickings for the games, I don't care. But now that we're into like let's rank the games that we played according to the genre of our podcast, it does feel a little bit weird. Well, this argument is in your favor. I almost am voting for Blueprints over a game that I like significantly more because
I'm not trying to bias you against that. By all means. I mean, I just want the winner to be the best pick
well, it's good
of our extremely amorphous, ambiguous or criteria,
And at times amoral.
exactly.
I do feel a little strange about it as well. I understand your concerns, Colin, but yes, I will be casting my vote in the caves of Cud.
Yes.
All right.
I will as well.
I'm moving it to the finals. Yeah, I think like I'll be curious to see Colin's like finals decimation of Cud here, but it is maybe one of the most interesting and unique sci-fi tales that I've experienced. And that's kind of saying a lot because I've consumed quite a bit of it. And like I was a like notorious Cud hater when I first booted it up. I'm like, and again, this was before like the 1.0 like graphical refresh and all that. I've put like 150 hours of it, like mostly on the Steam Deck.
Wait, 100.
I'm at 117.
And like Colin's arguably more impressive because he didn't have like 8 hours of like working with like a specialized tutorial master who guided you through the game. And you put in like 120 something hours like just since we started reviewing it, basically.
Yeah, I'm actually I think that maybe I had it like running in the background of my computer for a long time. Like I went to look up something on the wiki and forgot about it for 10 hours. But that's still like you can only do that so many times. I put a lot of hours into it at this point.
Yeah.
All right. Well, it's as simple as that. It's big simple. In fact, Caves of Cud runs away with it.
Gentlemen, what are we giving Blueprints?
Well, Blueprints does have a lot of doors in it.
Gems.
It's got gems. My door prize for
inheritance.
My door prize for Blueprints is going to be a better meta progression system because I feel like the dice rolls and stuff that like you get are good, but I felt like I if I didn't have to like cheat engine the game in order to get all the dice rolls that I needed to beat it in order to like review it properly for the podcast, maybe I would have liked the end game a little more, but you know, I'm sure someone on Nexus Mods has something on there for me.
Yeah, I'm gonna give him a pair of shoes to help traverse quicker.
I am gonna give that that young whippersnapper a lighter.
I'm gonna
So
give
you
him a
can
gun.
actually use that dynamite in the shed.
Dynamite.
I like Colin's gun. I think that's every game needs another gun. But I'm an American, so you know what can you say?
Can you imagine if you just like opened up one of the safe and there's just a gun in there?
That sounds
You're
like something.
"Oh," close it real quick.
Sounds like something you would
Oh,
encounter in
Grandpa.
Caves of Cud, maybe. All right, our next semifinal, two kind of super titans of roguelites or likes, I don't know, whatever we call them. Our number 3 overall ranked Hades versus our number 11 overall ranked Noita.
Yeah, Hades. I mean, Hades. Hades.
All right, now we can talk about Hades.
I feel like I could go either way with this one. I definitely like
Oh, my
Hades I've
man.
put what, like 100+ hours into or something, but at the same time, like I feel like I've experienced all that there is to experience in Hades, and that's okay. Like you can complete a game and be like, I think I'm good with this. I'm sure like it's almost guaranteed that we'll be talking about Hades 2 next season for sure.
Mhm.
Yeah, you finish
But-
games. It's true. You do get to the end of games in general, unless they are designed to be forever playable, which is odd, to be fair. Like that's not a usual
I
thing.
mean, I feel like if you finish a game but you put 150 hours into it, that is an acceptable thing.
Yeah, it's not all games are chess.
Like some of my favorite games, I've only played 30 hours
Will
in
looks
because I beat the
so
thing.
serious when he said that. Don't come messing around.
Don't
when
even
it comes
talk to me
managing
about chess.
Not
I
all games are
will-
StarCraft 2
Whew.
or Squad.
Now, what if
Uh,
what if chess, but speed chess, and instead of the pawns and rooks on the board, they were aliens with jetpacks shooting guns at you, and you had a wand that summoned boulders, homing boulders that when it hit something, it spawned more boulders to attack it.
Wait, does it kill
I
you
feel
too?
like Noita is literally the furthest you could get from chess. The number of dimensions is literally the only thing in common.
Will, to answer your question, yes, it does kill you because in Noita, everything that you touch will kill you, and I feel
I
like
expected that.
and I feel like that's half of the appeal because I was just doing a run just before this, and I'm like, well, I picked up this wand. It looks obviously very dangerous, but I have to try to see what this thing does, and I press the button. And it blows me up immediately, and there's electricity sparks shooting everywhere, and my poor little purple robed rogue mage witch just goes flying across the screen and like pinball bounces up and down between the ice caves. I knew exactly what I was getting into when I pressed that button, but I still pressed it anyway.
Gotta press.
I get it.
I feel like Hades suffers from like in the reviewing it right now, it suffers in that it has been a Titan for so long now. It feels almost like passe, or it's so
Okay, we
culturally
can't-
dominant. It's
No, we can't say, oh, this game is so old. By the way, when was that? Hades? When did that come out?
Like 2023, maybe?
Yeah,
No.
so
22?
not long ago.
no. I mean, but it's like it's reached the upper echelon. It's like games that it is broken out of the roguelike niche, and like people who don't play roguelike game, like my sisters have played Hades.
Yeah.
like to completion. And they're not the
2020.
kind of people who play roguelike games.
Well, there you go. That's a pass
Yeah.
right there. That makes it
But it came out in 2020, you gronks.
Gronk. Okay.
the Gronk pops.
Now, listeners, don't worry. We're still going to be friends after this. The Omega
No, I don't know about
the
that.
Omega Bowl, rather, gets, we get
Yeah.
pretty heated. And
But
some-
no, I think Hades is one
Better.
of the greatest games we've played.
Yeah.
So
It is like definitely higher on the production value side. Like the voice acting, like it can't be touched with the level and like 100 hours in, you're still seeing new like voice lines that like you never would have seen before. And the fact
Meg
that there's
says something new and sexy to you. And
yeah.
you're just like, damn.
The bottomless pit that awaits us for Hades too. Yeah, gosh, I don't know. Like Noita, I've put at least like 50 hours into and haven't beaten once yet, but I'm still always curious to experiment and tinker with. But Hades just feels like it's just on another plane of existence of like quality, depth to it. Like the meta progression system is, I don't know, like, you can go either way with it, but yeah, there's something to be said about its casual appeal. Noita, I could definitely see people bouncing off of after using the wand and their body ragdolling through the ice caves. I don't know. Like,
I'm
could
hearing
really
a
go
lot
either
of
way.
high praise for a top-down isometric action game coming from a bunch of Diablo 1 haters. This is
who
an
hates
outrage.
Diablo 1?
Me.
No one does.
This absolutely
I do.
despise it. Absolutely the worst game, I think is what you called it. And that is just not fair. And I think y'all need to, take some time to reflect. Maybe take a look in your own, mysterious star mirror of endless, horrible meta progression. Look, here's the
Darkness
deal.
Gem, actually.
Do I want to sit down and engage with like some mediocre beat 'em up action just so I can enjoy another mediocre Hugo? Never heard of it. More like huge waste of time. A mediocre light novel, or do I want to play a real game? Come on, where I can aim my wand anywhere around and I can control the very powers. I can bend reality to my will as a powerful purple robed sorcerer. By golly,
having
or
12
sorceress.
pixels
It's
dissolve.
sorcerex.
Yeah, you want to have 12 pixels dissolve into other pixels. Yeah, I get it. Yeah, that's what you're into. I'm not going to try and
Noita
shame you here, but I am
says
shaming you
more
because that's
with its
terrible.
12 pixels than the entire script of Hades. Look, I mean, come on. Scott, you tried your best.
Are there words in
Yeah,
Noita?
Sure.
there's lore.
Is there a story? I
Yeah,
can't remember.
there's lore that you pick up from like Emerald tablets, and it has this very nice like transition thing where it goes from like these inscrutable runes.
Oh yeah.
like,
Okay,
I'm sorry. Is this a book club, or are we reviewing video games here, gentlemen?
Hades, come on, here we go. Move it on. Move it. Let's get to the
No,
Super Bowl.
Scott,
Yeah,
I
Omegabowl
applaud
here.
your, at least attempting to make it a contest. I realize that Hades is gonna
That people have good
run away with it.
taste.
He's gonna dash
I
away
agree.
from it, which you have to unlock, by the way. Like, what do you get? One undash to start with? Horrible meta progression.
If it is a majority rule for Hades, maybe I'll just do like the protest vote for Noita just to say that like that way I can be like the contrarian of like, well, I voted for Noita, so you can't blame me.
But you know the audience response already. Or if you don't, then you are insane and you're allowing the audience, the people that you have no idea.
The rabble.
Yeah, the
Wait,
rabble.
I couldn't remember. Is it split 2-2 or is it 3-1 for Hades?
3-1. Wait, what did you vote for, Andrew?
There's
something
about
you defended
Hades.
Noita so much, I'm not sure now.
There's something about the Hades gameplay that just rubs me the wrong way. That I have some beef, which is mostly a personal issue, honestly.
Enter the Gungeon style that you hate the most, right? That's what you hate.
So yeah, I will be voiding for Noita, but I acknowledge that most of my issues with Hades are pretty, personal and specific to me.
Oh, now that Scott isn't just a protest vote, now he has to think about it a lot harder.
This is a big deal. This is happening right now in real time.
The problem is I know what the voter answer is for this one, and do I want to kick it to the voters or do I want to like
judge?
So I know based on that Hades is safe. Thank God.
I don't know if that's true.
He wouldn't allow it. He wouldn't allow the voters to choose, though, right?
Well,
not so.
I don't know. I mean,
okay, Scott, kick it off. Do you want to make the vote, or do you want to let the voters decide?
I'm not gonna let the voters decide. I'm gonna do Hades.
Thank God,
because I think that makes for. And again, like this people are like slamming their brakes on the highway. They're getting out with baseball bats, and they're like, I can't believe
we are. Because we're a roguelite podcast, not a roguelike.
Well, like this, I think this makes for more interesting grand finals if we have
2 Hugo award-winning games, nominated or whatever.
Yeah, so I'm gonna vote for Hades here. Noita again, like these are both like like this could have been a grand finals, and this would have been perfectly acceptable. Um, but we have to praise Roger Goodell for his NFL playoff system, which is what the Omegabowl has since co-opted and done better than the NFL,
Roger
as we all
Goodell,
know.
thank you for writing in. We love your playoff system.
Big fan of the show, Roger Goodell.
Just
I
big fan
think
of you as a person.
Noita's door prize, I think, is going to be a giga black hole that is going to come out of the worm tunnel to annihilate us for picking a heretical choice of Hades over Noita.
It's going to show us who the true gods are.
Yeah, I mean, I guess
The gods of Finland.
for what it's worth, the listener vote was for Noita. But
They know what's good.
yeah, I mean, again, that like easily could have been like the real Omega Bowl grand finals between Hades and Noita, but that is going to push us to our actual grand finals here. And what better way to do it between our previously number 2 overall that got bumped down to number 3 Hades by our new number 2 overall Caves of Cud. We have the traditional roguelike on one end of the spectrum versus like maybe like the poster child for modern roguelites with its meta progression and all of that stuff. We have
And
we have
graphics.
yeah, I mean, you know, we have turn-based
Gameplay, quote unquote.
All right. So Hades, you say? Well, we already talked in depth about a game with a blue prince. Hades is a game with a red rocket. Yeah, that's right. This protagonist is a dick. Nobody likes him. Come on,
okay,
don't
I
even
was-
pretend to like him. Also, devs,
Oh,
coward
great.
devs for there not being a sex scene with Dusa. Outrageous. They, hey, they won a
get some
Hugo
head?
Award. Apparently the panel didn't catch wind of that, and if they had, they would have, stripped them of their title. Yeah, this is this, as you say, Scott, this is quite a matchup. It's like best in class of two different types of roguelikes.
Yeah, I mean, both super long-winded stories. One you have to beat 10 times to see the real final ending. One you will probably have to die 10 times just to beat the first dungeon. I think the stories for both these games are both so rich in how they've been developed and intertwined with the gameplay. Like the story is the game for both of these, and in one case, you get that story drip with top tier voice acting and really great like comic book style Greek god art. And in the other one, you are a flying mutant winged bird man who has laser pistols and you have a Gundam with an old bear man piloting it, fighting something like Mother Brain from the end of Super Metroid for control of effectively a space elevator.
Yeah.
So basically the same game that we're talking about here.
One you go up and one you go down.
That's very
Actually,
true.
wait, no, that's not true. You kind of go up in both of them. One you start very low and you go up.
Yeah.
Really makes you think.
After having re-ranked Caves of Cud multiple times, I now have them both ranked at the same 9.3.
I guess,
So
like,
that does not help me in my decision.
Yeah. Colin, I'm curious to have you expand on what makes Caves of Cud not a roguelike, in your opinion.
It has a static overworld map and a fixed long-term story, and is not run-based.
Oh well.
Like the way that I'm playing it,
You-
I've put dozens of hours into the one single character.
Mm-hmm.
Like a roguelike game shouldn't have a 40 to 70 hour run in it. It's the same criticism I had for RimWorld, like or Factorio or Minecraft. Like they have procedural generation. They take a lot of the like trappings of roguelike or the Venn diagram does not entirely, there's many overlaps, but it's not I think that if Caves of Cud wasn't a like grid-based thing, I don't think it would be an argument about it. I think it's just because it looks like one that we are so tied to the thought that it is a roguelike game. Like
But
if it was three-dimensional and you were jumping around like Minecraft, I think we would think about it differently. We'd be like, wow, this is a great game that takes roguelike elements into it, into a nice it's an RPG. Wow, but look, it's pulling things from this genre that we've been playing and putting it in, but we would never have said like, oh, this is the pinnacle of roguelike games.
sure.
Versus Hades, which I mean also has a pretty fixed story. I mean, you are doing multiple runs with very different builds through all of them. Like how many times do you have to how many times does the average person do a run before they win? It's like 30 or something, right? So I've done 4 runs in Caves of Cud, the first three of which I basically was just giving up on characters until I finally found one that I liked playing.
Sure, there's a bunch of different like runs and builds to be had in Hades, but like just because you haven't seen the wealth of options available to you in Caves of Cut doesn't mean they're not
No, I
there.
have. I have. I also have an army of people following me. I had like 9 followers at one point, and I swapped bodies into them so I could stat out all the spec. I got my ape, I got my psychic man, I got
Wow.
my camel trader, I got my
Wow.
robot lady,
hmm
I got my ooze.
Already sounds more interesting than the cast of Hades, in my opinion.
I do not. I mean, I would say I don't have any sexy lady, but I am the sexy lady in. Also, my Caves of Cut character, which I did, in fact, mind control, dominate, and then kill my old body so that I could be her forever.
I mean, just
What a
based off
game!
of
What a
you
game!
describe, what a
Like, Caves
game!
of Cut's so good.
Like there is such a breadth and depth of possibilities available to you in the lands of Cud, whereas in Tartarus, oh man, your dad's yelling at you all the time. I play games to get away from reality. I don't I don't fire up a game and excited. Oh, what interpersonal conflict am I going to have today? No, no, no. I want to go on a fantastical science fiction quest.
Yeah, but you get to kill your dad.
Interesting.
Again and again and again and again and again. And in one case, he just lets you through unopposed, and you don't actually kill him.
What a twist.
Yeah, I don't know. I feel like I have to bat hard for Caves of Cud here because I feel like this is the only time in which even something that's even remotely like a traditional roguelike has the faintest hope of winning the Omegabowl over anything. And like I'm thinking through some of the games that we have coming down the pipe, and like a game that was like 15 years in development by like basically 2 people that got some more help along the way. Like I don't know, like I really want Caves of Cud to win. I can see why it wouldn't. It would be understandable. It would be disappointing.
Oh.
But
I went back to look, like, where did Cogmind end up? Like, Cogmind got knocked out by Dead Cells, which is like, ooh, that's rough. Yeah.
yeah. But I mean, at the same time, like what, and I still think about that a lot where I'm just like, was that the right call to make? And I think at the time it was because, like,
Dead
doesn't
Cells
everyone
is really good.
Yeah, Dead Cells is really good, and most people, most normal people think about Dead Cells versus Cogmind on a daily basis anyway. So, yeah, I mean, this is like a David and Goliath matchup where I think like Caves of Cud is the sure underdog against Hades. Yeah, I mean, both of these games, it took a long time for me to warm up to them. Like even Hades, like I really didn't have any idea what was happening. Like the first 2 hours I was playing it, just like what are all these meta progression upgrades? Like why do I care what's going on? But eventually it got its hooks into me, and it became like this absolute competitive speed running event between me trying to beat Will's best time, I think for the bow or the spear or something, before the recording. I'm like, I'm gonna do it, and then it got like way more intense than I thought it would, which was great. And yeah, I mean, Hades is like the poster child for meta progression. Caves of Cud is the poster child for, I don't know, like, fuck you. There's so much stuff in this game. You're never going to be able to account for any of it. You've been lasered.
Yeah, the like simulationist theories, build your world. Yeah.
Read a lot? Is that what it is? Is that the difference? Is how much you have to read?
I mean, I will say the writing in Caves of Cud, there's a lot of it. It is like for basically all of it being done by like one guy with like some help from a few other people, like astounding how good
I'm
the
sorry,
writing.
but one guy, just some guy, a listener to our podcast. Come on, let's show a little respect here.
Wait, really?
Well, I mean, the person who wrote in was one of the side quest story writers who
All
wrote.
right, well, even so, we
okay,
love
well.
our side quest writers. Come
Colin,
on.
they were the one that did the Baylaw quest that I think that you've done.
The what?
The,
yes.
Yeah.
yeah. But yeah,
Look,
I
Hades 2 can have it next year.
think
We Caves of Cud deserves its time in the sun.
No, Hades this
Uh,
year
uh,
and already deserves it. It's
Well,
a
then
great game.
next
Hades
year we'll
2,
have
we
Hades
don't know
2
about. We
versus
haven't
Slay
played
the
it
Spire
yet.
2.
We need to evaluate it.
What an inspiring story. Basically a solo dev effort. It's been in
Love it.
development for so long. What's inspiring about Hades?
It's,
The graphics, the combat, the story, the meta progression.
What's inspiring about
yeah,
the development?
everything.
I mean,
I don't care. I no, and I say that in all seriousness, like it is impressive when like solo dev effort impressive, but if you're just rating it as like which is a better game, it does not matter if they're planning on doing more, if it was made by a single person, all that stuff. Like I want to be I want to look at the games as like which game was more fun to play, which game brought me
Yes.
more long-term
Yes.
enjoyment. Like the fact that it was a single person is like, well, that's kind of impressive, but it didn't make the game better. It made its success more unlikely and the story behind it a little bit more interesting.
well, I mean, I guess I would argue that this is such a close call. I mean, not for me, obviously, but such a close call for the two of you that we need to
Yes.
start taking into account these other elements
It's
and
true.
these other these
Gotta find
wild
flipping-
card elements, like which has the more inspiring development cycle, which has the more bold storytelling decisions, which one goes right up to the line and then decides, you know what, actually Duso was asexual the whole time. Ha ha ha.
Which
Outrageous.
which one has done more for the popularization of roguelikes as a whole?
Who cares about that is another thing.
I mean, if we're talking,
play,
Andrew's the one who's bringing in outside information.
that's a great
The fact
point,
that I can
Colin.
have a conversation with my sisters about what roguelike games are and they can have that conversation is due almost entirely to Hades.
And
Wow,
well,
that's-
right. And while we're
that's-
at it, we should say which has done the most for popularizing Greek mythology.
Mic drop. Like Colin can talk with his sisters about a roguelike game.
about a game where you have to deal with your virtual
It's
relatives.
a popular game,
Yeah.
is what I'm trying to say. People get it regardless of if they're into this genre. The appeal of
It
Hades
transcends genre.
Well, you say it's
transcends- yeah,
popular.
exactly.
I think it's going to be most popular with our listeners. And,
Caves of Cud is a game
I'm
that
gonna have to-
only
you know what?
fucking nerds are gonna get into.
I
You
love
guys are
Caves of
nerds.
Cud.
Let's not beat around the bush here. We're all nerds. I get it, but like that's a very nerd game. Hades is a game that people there's a much wider appeal, and we also appreciate it. It's also a good game to us.
I'm gonna vote for Hades. I think
Thank
that
God.
Caves of Cud is a masterpiece.
what
But
happened?
I'm going to give the edge to Hades because I think it is more of a roguelike game than the game that looks like the pinnacle of roguelikes.
Scott, are you hearing this? There was this inspiring tale happening between Will and Colin. Like Will's like, you know what? I trust you, best bud. That like if you say the game's good, I'm gonna believe. And now it's been.
I'm
thrown
not
in the
saying that-
trash.
I still
I'm
trust
saying
him.
that they're
I still
both
trust Colin's opinion.
9.3s. They're both they're both solidly into like, these are the best games I've played in my life.
Well,
Like
I
RimWorld,
predict-
Cogline, Caves of Cud, Hades, Monster Train, Dead Cells, Balatro, Slay the Spire, Fast and Light. Like,
Oh,
all right, those are some
good
fucking
game.
good games.
Great
like,
games.
you could pick any one of those and say this is the winner of an Omegabowl, and you could make very strong arguments for it, except for RimWorld.
All right.
But
What if we
Okay,
did this? What if we did this for special Omega Bowl finals overtime rules, where
Oh my.
if we're split here, we could either do the listener vote as the tiebreaker, or we could do Colin's challenge coin flip as the tiebreaker.
Damn it, where's my
but
coin?
what if we do this? What if we flip a coin to decide if we do listeners or coin flip?
You
Almost double
you
overtime
already know?
rules.
Scott, do you know the outcome?
I do know the outcome, which is
Then
why I
we
kind
can't. That's a bullshit sort of
of.
way of framing this, right?
Where's my very special coin? Oh no, I cleaned and now I can't find it. Oh, here it is.
A coin
oh.
flip. Oh, gosh.
But you literally
typical
you have the
Hades
coin,
game
You have the
players.
coin from last year in your hand right now.
I always have this
There
coin.
it is.
Just it's on my desk.
Oh my god, the Boeing coin? Is that what
Yeah,
Alright.
of course.
The Boing coin.
Listeners,
One
I'm
side,
sorry.
one side is the engine turbine, and the other side is octo engine power.
I tried. I didn't try hard enough, obviously.
All right, so is the coin flip to decide it, or is the coin flip to say, all right, we're like the winner of the coin flip determines like if it's going to the listeners or going to the actual coin flip itself?
It feels bad if the coin flip is a decision. That's it. Yeah, you don't want a coin flip to decide something. You want the coin flip to decide the action which decides something.
Well,
That's
all
a,
right,
that's a
hold
game
on.
mechanic that we all can agree on, right?
hold on.
What if we drew 3 options and picked one from them?
Yeah, there you go. Pick one of 3 is
Where?
obviously one of 3, one of 4. You know, either way.
We got the hosts, we got the coin.
Ooh, I mean, I'm gonna go ahead and say all right, so here's the coin flip. Heads, we go with the listeners, and tails, we go with the overall rank of us in terms of numeric score.
Which is
I'm not gonna tell you because does that seem reasonable?
I have not rated Caves of Cud though.
That is your fault. If you wanted to be a part of the podcast, you'd be a part of the podcast.
Well, fuck this podcast.
Well,
I'm done. I don't want anything
to be
do with
fair,
this.
to be fair, Will has been crafting his own cyberpunk
It doesn't matter. Yeah, I have a good
adventure
game,
while we were busy cutting away. So there's only really enough time for like one, mega post-apocalyptic cyberpunk thing in someone's headspace for a given time. So I think that could be forgiven if someone was actually building their own game at the same time. But yeah, I think that like if the
there is a very real chance that my coin flip would be the same game for either one. So
Fuck it, flip it, whatever.
all right, so heads is what here?
heads is listeners. Tails is overall numerical ranking amongst the podcast hosts.
I don't even know what I want here. Yeah, flip it.
Tails.
What do you got?
Caves of
Numeric-
Cud 9.18, Hades 8.92.
Oh,
Fuck this game. This is not Hades.
Will, look, you got your way last year. You got your way.
See, I'm expecting Will to go play this game and then rate it at like 9.5. So
Yeah, that's fair.
It's
That's
the-
actually
Indeed.
100% fair. I am mad now,
What?
but I might not be mad in a
Oh,
moment.
all right, and
and
we're gonna
so-
find out.
Yeah, so
Also-
here's the reveal. This is the this will be great audio for people driving their cars on the freeway.
And of
But
course,
this is-
yeah.
This is the sheet where I just have them sorted by the podcast seed here. So Caves of Cud number 2 is on top and number 3 is Hades on the bottom. But all these cells are blacked out. I don't know what the numbers are underneath here, but I mean,
He
I
does,
implicitly
though.
already know what this column M here is for. But if I go ahead and unblank these cells
All right,
for the
the
grand
listener's
finals,
choice, the correct
here,
choice.
the listener's
is-
choice have picked the listener rank overall as Caves of Cud number 1.
Of course. Oh, and don't we just have the greatest of listeners listening to this fine podcast? What a deal! What a deal!
That's fine.
And I guess for
wow,
completeness,
a lot more engagement on YouTube Shorts there for Caves of Cud. You must have done a
well,
good
see,
one, Scott.
this is why I have the normalization re-ranking algorithm that goes through, because it would
Nice.
literally just be whatever has the most YouTube short volume to it. But Hades was number 4. Like that's not nothing. So our top listener rankings here were Caves of Cud was number 1, followed by Noita. Jesus, Caves of Cud, Noita, Path of Achra, Hades, Halls of Torment, Rift Wizard, Elden Ring, Nightreign, Blueprints, Spiritfall, The King is Watching, Heroes Hour, and rounding out Omegabowl 3 was Deadzone Rogue. Yeah, I think the top three of the listeners being Caves of Cud, Noita, and Path of Achra was
That feels right. Or that
yeah.
feels maybe not right, but that feels like not surprising to me.
hmm
Fine.
Indeed, indeed. And now, since we're at the end of another season, we go around the table. We say
Wait,
what
wait,
we're
wait,
thankful
hold
for.
on. What is Hades'
Oh,
door,
yeah.
How do we
door
do that?
prize? And what is the
Oh
grand
yeah,
prize?
yeah, yeah. Hades' door prize is a mended relationship with your estranged family. How about
Aw.
I'm gonna give it some sexy, sexy fanfic of whatever the main character's name is, Zagreus and
it?
Dusa.
John
There,
Hades.
there you have it.
Zagreus and who?
Dusa, because Handra's so
Dusa.
upset that he can't.
Was that the mommy dummy, or who's that?
No, that's the floating head, snake
The
head lady,
Oh, the
um,
Medusa little creature. Yeah, yeah. Who is the other one with the
Meg.
whip?
Meg.
Meg.
Meg, right?
Ah,
Yeah, yeah.
true hottie.
Well, I'm gonna award them a gift certificate to I don't know, Olive Garden or something.
Great.
Well,
When
And
you're
what's
there, your
the
family.
grand prize? Yeah, you tell us, Scott. What's the grand prize? The of course the Omegabowl trophy.
yeah, the was it the Omegabowl Trophy of Yendor. I thought I had it on my bookcase back here.
You're very
Here it is.
quiet, by the way, as you move away towards your
Yeah,
bookcase.
it's good Foley here. Yeah, here's here it is. If
Wow.
you're hearing it, this
What
is
is that a
the
trophy for?
Incredible.
it's a trophy from a music theory competition that had extra trophies lying around, so I stole one.
And to be clear, this thieved trophy, the Omega Bowl trophy, that is being awarded to Caves of Cud, our grand champion of year 3 of the Grog Pod. When you inspect it, ooh, baby, does this have a sweet text description, a Hugo Award-winning text description of this incredible trophy. Congratulations, Caves of Cud.
Yeah, good job.
Well, I think when your app is all finally said and done, I think you'll play through Caves of Cud. You'll be like, this is amazing. I'm
No, I know.
loving this.
Either that
Uh,
or he won't like it. I
don't
really don't
doubt.
know.
I don't doubt that I'm gonna enjoy that game, but I still really liked Hades, and that's all I know
That's
so
fair.
far. So
you know, if it comes down to a coin flip, then you know the teams put everything they had out on the field. They left nothing else, and yeah, I think that's kind of the best outcome we could hope for. Well, thanks again for everyone writing into the show for a third season. Thanks again to the co-hosts here that make all of my production work worthwhile. And yeah, if you also want to have your broken English read aloud on the program, grogpodzone@gmail.com. You can send that in. Mastodon, grogpod@gamedev.place. Grogpod.zone has the website with all of our rankings and previous episodes and all that good stuff. Our next episode, I actually don't know if it will be the standard one of me doing PAX show floor interviews, or if it will be an interview with the composer of our. I guess it's also good that it won the Omegabowl. Hey, by the way, your game came in second place.
I mean, I feel like no one could be that mad about their game coming in second place to Hades.
True. Yeah, I guess that's fair. But yeah, I think I'll be setting up a quick standalone interview episode with the composer from Caves of Cud, Craig Hamilton, as well as a different standalone episode for PAX show floor interviews. So keep an ear out for both of those coming soon before our next season 4 kicks off. But yeah, to play us out from this episode will be some music, I guess, to kind of wet your whistle a little bit for that upcoming musical interview episode. I didn't have anything written down there because I had no idea if Cud was going to win or not. But yeah, it'll it's Cud music. We all love it.
Maybe some moon stairs, maybe some climbing the spindle. We don't know.
It could be some Jopa. It could be it could be anything.
It could just be a bear grunting in the woods because that's kind of what some of the soundtracks have.
Exactly. But we'll that'll play us out here from season 3, and we look forward to seeing you in season 4. Live and drink. Bye.